Hello. For today, we are going to talk about ListView in Flutter. Flutter provides ListView widget that will help us to display quite a large number of data in a short, simple way. Okay, so if you have, for example, the list or the array, and you would like to display all data from top to bottom or from left to right, list view is one of the possible answers to display those data. Okay, so let's start. Firstly, we start with main.dat here. I'm going to create another file in the same directory. Okay, the name could be listview underscore demo.dat. Yeah. Okay, and in this page, I'm going to create the stateful widget to display list view. Actually, if we don't want to update list view right now, we can use stateless widgets. Okay, and the name will be list view demo. Yeah, and let's replace this one with scaffold and change the name here. Okay, so I'm going to replace this container using list view. And first thing first that I would like to demo here is to use a static list view by adding children to list view directly. So here you can add any widget. So list view here will work like a column. Okay, so that if you imagine that column can add children in vertical direction, list view can do something like that one also. Okay, so let me try to add different text, for example here map. Okay, and duplicate this thing two times, and you have the album. Could be any message you want, like that one. Okay, and we have cons here. Okay, so that is for the simplest list view to display the data in vertical direction similar to a column. So let's link these two files together. This view demo. Okay, and that's it. So let's build and see the result. And this is the result. Okay, these three texts are displayed in a list view in vertical direction similar to a column. Okay, so if you would like to display data in list view, one of the most popular widgets used for list view is list type. So let's try to change these three texts to list type. Okay, so list type will have different fixed component. Okay, fixed different component. For example, leading, okay, title, subtitle. Okay, and let's try to add some thing to this list type. For example, we could add title, and we can add the same thing as we have done before, map here. And we can add other things, for example, subtitle and so on. So let me add just only title here. I cannot use const here anymore. Okay, add const here instead. Oh, my bad, is correct to put const there. Okay, and then this title is a widget. So the error is here, not the const. So we can have to use this text there. Okay, so this is a list type. So if you save this one, you see some kind of format with padding and so on. Actually, this array is the whole list type. Okay, so let's try to, for example, add some icon to this list type. I'm going to add an icon related to that text map icon. So now we have the leading icon, the title here. We can add the subtitle there and following the ending icon or widget around it. Okay, so let's try to duplicate this thing. create two more list type, okay, and change this thing to album. Okay, I think that there is album icon also, and phone for the last one. Okay, and save. So now we have a structure of list type inside this view. Okay, like this one. But the benefit of list view and list type is not to do the static value like this one. It is suitable to display the data from the array or the list. Okay, so let's try to create the list. Okay, so let me create a list around here. Okay, in front of the build function. So my data could be something like a list. Okay, of map. For example, it could be a map of like the value here. Okay, there should be map, album, and phone. These are name, and I need some icons to display also, right? So I will keep name and icon to be the properties of the map. Okay, so let me format this thing a little bit. Okay, like this, it should be better. Could be name, which is the key, and the value could be map, for example here, and icon, which is another key, and this will be icon dot map. Okay, like that one, icons dot map. Okay, and we duplicate this thing and change map to be corresponding with these two values, album and phone. Okay, album and phone. So we create the structure like this one so that we don't have to hard code the data. Sorry, it should be small. P. Okay, yeah. And whenever we create this final data, this one must not be constant anymore. Okay, so now we can delete this or list type, and instead of using this constant value, we can read the data from this list of map and put it into list view, so that we can delete this children property of the list view and then use the another kind of list view, which is the list view builder. Okay, and this one will be quite simple. You just change this one from list view to list view builder, and for the list view builder, it's required two property. The first one is the item count, the number of things that will be built inside this list view. And here we have three things, right? You can hard code this one to be three, but it's not good because you will read the data from this variable. So it should be the data length instead. So it will be flexible according to the size of this data or this array. Okay, another one is the item builder. Okay, this thing will return to sync, contact, and index. Okay, and index here will be like the index of the loop. Okay, so the item builder works like a loop. Imagine that it is a for loop, and this index is the counter. Okay, for each round, it will change the index from 0, 1, and 2 until the last element of this data. Okay, so to use this thing this time, it will be very easy. You don't have to provide the loop by yourself. You just provide the widget that you would like to display by using return command. And here, if you would like to use list type as we have done before, you just return list type. Okay, and just provide the structure of this list type. For example, as we done before, leading should be the icon, right? Okay, and this time for the first thing that we want to display here, it will be icons.map. So it is not good to hard code this one icon.map here, because in every round of the group, this one will be the map icon always. So we can have to make it flexible. So to do that, you just provide icon, and we know that icon.map, album, and phone are linked with this property, this key icon. So to do that, we just say that data and index and then focus on the icon property of the things, okay, so that we can get the real icon. And we see that there are some errors around here because Flutter cannot derive the type of this thing automatically. So we're going to have to help it a little bit by adding, for example, here list to let Flutter know that this is a list of data and the data inside are dynamic. Okay, so now we have no errors. Okay, so just continue by duplicating, and sorry, not duplicating, creating the title, okay, to display the same thing, but this time it will be text, right? Okay, display the data at the index location, but the field that you would like to use now is name here. Okay, and that's it. By doing so, after saving this one, you sorry, we have some error around here. Okay, we cannot put it to be constant anymore, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay, and let's try to reload this thing. And now you get the same data as we had done before, but this time it is dynamic. For example, if you delete one of this value here and save, okay, and reload again, you will see just only two records because it is dynamic according to the size of this data. Okay, so let's open this one again, reload again, and you should see the last value around it. Another thing that we can interact with ListView is that we can tap it. Okay, we can touch any area of the ListView here and get the value or show something related to the item that we touch. Okay, so let's do that in ListView Builder here. We will have the properties called on tab of the list type. Okay, so if we tap the list type here, we should be able to get the data inside the list type. So here inside the list type, we should could use the on tab or long place. Okay, but here we are going to use on tab, which will happen when we click or touch at the list type. Okay, so the on tab here, we can print or do something, okay, as you want, or navigate to another page. Here I'm going to display the data that we touch using scaffold. Okay, so I'm going to use a scaffold messenger class k.off context and then show snack bar. Okay, and let me hide this panel, and this one will be the snack bar with the content. It's just only a simple text. Okay, like that. And this text will be anything you want. For example, if I touch the map here, I would like to show this message. If I touch the list type containing the phone here, I'm going to get the phone text. Okay, so this value will be dynamic, right? So I will put this thing, okay, data index name. You can still use index because we are in the list view builder. Okay, so that's it. After saving this one, and then let's try to touch this map. It will pop up the snack bar showing map here. Okay, album and phone. But sometimes you will see that the thing that we click does not appear immediately because there is still the previous snack bar showing. So the better way is to clear the previous snack bar if there is any. Okay, so let me provide a comment, say that this to show snack bar and is to clear the previous snack bar if any. Okay, and to do that we use the same command. So you can copy this thing and dot remove current snack bar, and that's it. So let's test this thing. If we click map, if we click album, the previous snack bar has been removed and a new one has been shown.